jumped in it the other day and was like, Dad, what is it? Not ripping it apart, not doing full restoration on it, and then this happened.
Hi guys, Parm at Car Audio and welcome back to the channel. Now, if you are new to the channel or if you've just stumbled across us, please make sure you subscribe because I wouldn't want you to miss out on some awesome content. Now, today I'm here with who I call the Flying Scotsman, but you may better know him as Dougie. Dougie, welcome to the channel, mate. How are you?
I'm good, right? Thank you very much.
Don't worry, he hasn't driven all the way from Scotland because he lives mid-country now, but he's got a few cars. One of them is a classic Mini. He's also got, in my eyes, what is probably the world's best Mercedes W108. I'm sure you all know the car. And recently we finished bagging Dougie's latest project, 190 Cosworth, and he took it away and had a few other bits done to it. So we're here today with Dougie. The car is now complete. Yeah. You first bought this car and you said to me, no, I'm not touching it. This is going to be my daily driver. And look what's happened.
This was bought as project, not a project. That was the name of it. Because after 4 years of building the 108 with me and my two mates in the garage, it was like, no, I'm buying something off the shelf to enjoy, not ripping it apart, not doing full restoration on it, and just enjoy it. And then this happened.
Although this has not been a full-on restoration like the W108 that took you, what, 4 years, that must have been draining, not only mentally, but to your pockets as well.
Yeah, but it was good timing because it was COVID. So actually it gives us something to do, as we all did.
You had something to do
on a Wednesday night in Dougie's garage, so yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. 2.3, 2.5?
2.5.
Yeah.
So the car, basically I wanted a mechanical sound car. Yeah. So I went looking for one because I didn't want to be pulling the engine out. I didn't want to do full restoration. So I went mechanically all good. Mercedes Car Club owner, old boy, owned it for 9 years.
Okay.
Engine, valves, gearbox, rebuilt, all via the Mercedes dealer, his local Mercedes dealer. So that's the car for me. I wanted grey, the black blue colour, manual rather than the auto, and this come up.
It's probably the only way to go on these is the manual dogleg, isn't it? It's the same as the E30 M3s where the first gear starts not up here but down here.
It's a pain, it's a pain, but to be honest, I jumped in it this morning to drive down here. It exaggerates the experience. So, wait a minute, I'm not jumping in my C-Class automatic and just driving. Yeah. Right, I have to think about this. Right, where's first? It just adds to it, and it's the motorsport heritage. That's what it's all about. That was the reason for it, because you're all in second and third for any of the corners and stuff on track. But that exaggerated it for me. Yeah.
Mercedes built this to compete with BMW's E30 M3 back in the 80s. Yeah. I know what you prefer out the two. That's hence the reason why you've got that. Yeah. I think there's a lot more people that veer towards the BMW variant. Yeah. Why do you think that is?
It's a strange one. If you look at the BMW M3, the E30, a friend of mine's just recently bought one, as well as obviously Raj has got numerous around us. But if you look at it, it's more wow than this in standard form. Yeah. It's an M3. I would almost look at the M3 as the Evo 1 or the Evo 2 comparison of this. Okay. Whereas the standard 2.5 16 Cosworth, it's just a bit basic. It was the normal. It was the sporty model, yes, because it had the gearbox and the Recaro seats and all things like that. But it didn't have the wide arches, crazy spoilers and everything. You had to go Evo 1 or Evo 2. So I think the comparison is M3 E30 to Evo 1, Evo 2.
And also, I think typically you're either in the BMW camp or you're in the Mercedes camp, isn't it?
I've got the.
You're clearly in the Mercedes
I've got the 108, but I also work for Mercedes head office as well. So I'm kind of, if I rocked up in a BMW, I'd be out the door. So,
we wouldn't want that, would we? Otherwise, that'd be the end of any project.
Financially, that's not good.
We bagged Dougie's 190 a couple of months ago. We used a full airlift setup on this car, apart from the shock absorbers. Although the shock absorbers are upgraded, they are shorter than stock. They have rebound adjustment, camber adjustable top mounts, and they're on threaded bodies as well. And we used the smallest airlift bags, which are the 5-inch double bellow bags on this, because we wanted to get it as low as possible. There is a good reason for that as well.
The challenge I set, Aman and Parm, was to get it basically flat out on the ground. And to do that, little challenges that I've been told. My Mini, I was told I'd never fit a standard length Mini. I would never be able to get the red top engine in it. The 108, it was the first 108 that's flat on the ground. With this, I was told actively that you can't get it as low as I would want it on 18s. So that was the challenge I set, yeah.
During the installation process, the back was fairly easy. It's normally on the front of these Mercs. Any classic Merc, actually, they're prone to rubbing bags because the space around the bags is quite small. Put the bag in, oh, it's not low enough, we still got a few millimeters to go. Take the bag back out, cut the bracket down, put it back in. It's down to millimeter clearance.
Yep.
That was the only way that we could get it as low as it sits at the moment. And it's all paired with Airlift 3P management, which works seamlessly.
Today was actually my first drive.
And
the airlift on it.
Initial thoughts?
It was brilliant, yeah. Bad weather, crazy weather, but that's life. I'm Scottish, I can get away with it. But yeah, it drove mega. Around the M25, down the M1, bit of town driving coming through here, all for a photo shoot and stuff. It drove great. It's comfortable at ride height.
Yeah.
It's a good ride height. It's lower than standard, but I can go that little bit higher as well. And then obviously the reason we done it was to make it look like this.
And I must say, it looks fantastic. Also, you've kept the original AMG monoblocks on there, which I think work really well.
Yeah, that was part of the challenge. They came on the car. That was one of the reasons I ended up buying this one, because it just looked complete. They were standard wheels, and I was like, that's the look that, as per my 108, things like, not the Mini obviously, but this was my kind of thing. Standard look, but with a twist. And when I was told you can't get it as low as I want it in the 18s, that was the challenge. So little bits like with the airlift that you've chopped and changed. Tyres, it came to you with the thicker profile tyres.
Yeah.
You suggested I could get an inch on lower profile tyres, which you changed. And then since I've had it back, I've been chopping away at little bits of inner wing, side wheel arch, things like that. I've gained another inch. So literally front, we're about 15 mil off the front sill, and at the rear, the exhaust is literally sitting on the ground. So challenge complete.
Every millimetre counts, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Here it is in its full glory. 2.5 16 valve Cosworth. Was it? It's one of the last ones that they did.
Yes, it's a 1990 car, which is one of the rarest.
Wow.
The newer ones. So yeah.
So now that the ride and the drop height's all corrected, the wheels are correct, what additions have you made to the exterior on this?
So exterior wise, I wanted the carbon front spoiler, front splitter. So this is basically an Evo 1 item, which in an Evo 1, it usually goes vertical up the side of the bumper, but I didn't want that, I just wanted a front edge on it, so we added that on.
So what, did you cut the sides off?
Yeah, so we got the sides cut off.
Okay.
So yeah, so
cool.
And then carbon.
Do you know what? I used to cringe at these back in the day.
They are Heckles.
But now, they look so cool. I really like those. Oh, you've got more all the way around as well. That's
little things like that. It's just that it's period correct.
Absolutely. Looks brilliant. And moving on to the back.
Again, you said about M3 E30 Evo.
You had to use something off of
I had to nick one off. Don't tell Raj, it's off that one over there. But yeah, carbon fibre. There's a guy in Canada. You'll see in a bit there's some of the carbon fibre inside.
Yeah.
Stev Designs in Canada. He does this. It's called a crown, rear spoiler crown, in full carbon. So it had to be done.
That looks. Did you know what? It really suits the car. It kind of finishes it off.
And then the Evo 2 rear window spoiler. That's on there as well. So yeah.
That's a bit funny that, because you would, as being a touring car, you wouldn't have been allowed to have that, would you?
It's not a spoiler. So this is the scenario. That rear wing was on an Evo 2, so it's not meant to be on this car. So it's meant to be on an Evo 2. And the reason for it was DTM rules on the Evo 2, they had the big massive rear spoiler.
Correct.
Was that your rear spoiler cannot stop your vision out your rear screen.
Okay.
So what Merc did was shorten the rear screen, and that is basically what that is doing. That is basically making the rear screen shorter than it's meant to, so they could put that big kick-ass spoiler out the back.
It's more commonly known as bending the rules, right?
Exactly. that was touring cars though, yeah, that's what it was all about.
I like the way you positioned the front wiper as well, just like
Things
a
like
touring.
that.
Yeah,
exactly.
just-
And it's, yes, we all did it on our Corsas and Novas and Polos back in the day.
Correct.
But this car had a single wiper.
Yeah.
And when you clock it on DTM and British touring cars, that's what they all had. It had to be done.
Looks amazing. I love the JBL 6x9s in the back shelf.
JBL's like spin
Period, correct?
It was something, you talked the other day about where you started up, where Raj started up in
Yeah.
Tottenham Court Road. I did that Tottenham Court Road walk.
Yeah.
And I bought JBL 6x9s, and I reckon it was probably from one of you guys.
They're not from 98 though.
No, they're not. They're brand new. But things like that, that's what got me into cars, and that's one of the reasons I had JBLs in my Suzuki Swift back then and things like that, and I continue on putting JBLs.
I noticed earlier on the electric aerial still works as well.
Originally mine had the screw in,
Okay.
but like Raj is here with the car covers, so he told me, Hirschman,
Yeah.
get the right one. He says, there's a limited edition black one, that's the one you need to go out and find.
Okay.
And I went and I found a real Hirschman, which is what was fed.
One thing I absolutely love about this car is what you've done to the interior.
I went back through the books of what this car was about, and basically this car was one of the only cars that had Recaro front and rear seats. The rears are Recaro, so for me it cried out to shout about the rears being Recaro, because at the end of the day this car had black leather all the way through it, so it was very dark inside. And people who know me and know what I get dressed in the morning in, I like Larry, I like standing out, and I googled Recaro, bright colours, and Spectrum come up. So Spectrum, if people don't know about it, in the 70s Recaro brought out this fabric, not in a car, not in an M3, not in a vehicle, but they sold this seat. So it was a special edition, kind of anniversary edition.
On an aftermarket seat?
On an aftermarket seat.
Okay.
So I fell in love with it, bright orange, shaded, you get orange and you get grey. I tracked down the material. I found somebody who had 8 meters of it, and I was like, I'm having that. At SEMA last year, where I met you boys out there as well, Recaro have actually relaunched it, hence my hoodie, because Recaro have actually relaunched Spectrum as a seat you can buy off the shelf aftermarket.
It just works so well in this car.
The colour.
And I love the touch you've done on the steering wheel centre as well.
Steering wheels.
Had to be done, right?
That kind of thing, yeah.
That's brilliant.
I was looking for somebody to trim it, and I found James Williams up at Auto Trim Systems. They're a Recaro agent. So again, for me, it exaggerated. I wanted to do Recaro type things. Well, you do that with Recaro, don't you?
Yeah.
So I took all the, obviously project, not a project. I took all the seats out, me and my mate, gave them to him, got them back in. He retrimmed it with the fabric and got it back in.
Now, you didn't really bother with the door cards, but there was a good reason for that. The door cards that you've actually put in here, oh my God.
This project, not a project.
Honestly, I didn't even know anything like this was available for 190s, but these door cards look absolutely brilliant. Again, from
Steve Design in Canada.
Yeah.
He's into 190s and he's doing stuff hand built on his own business, and it's just awesome quality. So I've bought a lot of car stuff in my life, bolt-on bits and stuff.
Yeah.
I've never bought anything that literally you fit it the way he tells you to fit it and it fits. Like round the door locks, round the handles. Usually you would have your Dremel out or your hacksaw out to make it fit.
always.
Literally, I did nothing on these. They just went clunk.
You're a man of great taste, and these are the door pull handles.
Yeah, door pull.
I'm going to touch you on that, mate.
Again, James at Auto Systems, he got the fact that I was going a dark car, carbon. If I could have put a little bit of that material outside, I probably would have as well, because that's just me. But I needed that brightness on the dark, and he came up with the idea.
It works so well. And then obviously you've got all the carbon bits on the dash, center console.
Again, center console, glove box, all the way down, center console around the gear knob, heater vents, both sides, heater switches. Again, all that from the guy in Canada, and it fits to the millimeter fits.
That's amazing, absolutely amazing. Any more plans for this, or?
No, get out and enjoy it. I've got a couple of bits of, Extra bits of carbon to come. I've got some wing mirror caps coming next, they'll go on it. From the airlift point of view, the little tweak we've not mentioned there, my Game Boy.
Oh, is that what?
Did you not even
realise?
realise?
No, I thought you were
it's
playing
not-
that. I thought you were playing on it on the way
It's not
down.
my boy's Game Boy.
Oh, no way.
Have a look. He jumped in it the other day and was like, Dad, what is it? And it was like, oh, you can play it on, you can't really watch the airlift.
Now, this is real trick. Oh my God, that is cool. I
It's
like
my
that.
kind of thing, just to go geeky. Again, period correct.
Of course.
In the 90s, that's what it was all about. So
I've never seen that done before. So yeah, again, hat off to you, sir.
Thank
That
you.
is real cool. I love this car. This is amazing. When we first spoke, you said, oh, look, I've bought this Cosy and it needs a front wing and a bumper spraying on it. But you've ended up spraying the whole car.
the day that I got the car, within that week, I rung my friend Matt Penning and I says, Matt, can you come up? I says, I'm going to bring the car around to you to show you. I want the bonnet and I want the rear door painting. Took it up to him, we looked at it. He says, Dougie, he says, I can do it, but you're not going to be happy with it, I know you. So we ended up full repaint on the car. So Ollie, the painter, Ian, the metalwork guy, we went to town. This car ended up having all the normal W201 190E problems. So rear parcel shelf, they leak water in them. Unfortunately, that's where the boot lid is hinged to.
Yeah.
So it needs to be structurally correct. Rear arches needed outers. Floor was all good. Panels were all good, but Penny's did a mega job on the paint. And again, Ollie and Ian, they were WhatsApping me, texting me,
Yeah.
exactly as I want with people that get what I want out of a car. And that's mainly because they've seen my other cars and they
course.
get
It's
the
gotta
level that goes.
It's got to be flawless.
Yeah.
It's got to be flawless.
It's good.
All I can do at this point is congratulate everyone that's been involved in this project, from Pennings to the interior guys, Auto Trim Systems, Car Audio Security, Airlift, and the man himself, Dougie. Dougie, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very
What
much.
an absolute brilliant car you've built here. It's immaculate, it's flawless, and it's slammed to the floor, which is, you know, obviously my plus point. Great project.
Thank you.
Anything else left to do on it?
Nothing.
Nothing? What's next?
Project, not a project. No way. You'll get me divorced.
Oh no, I wouldn't want to do that. Well, you're already halfway there, right? You're sleeping in the garage.
In the garage.
But it's quite comfortable to sleep in, right?
Yeah, it's nice. I'm quite happy there.
Brilliant. Well, guys, thanks to Dougie for trusting us with his pride and joy. Uber happy with this project. Dougie's done an amazing job. It looks absolutely fantastic. And, you know, it's sitting on the floor, which is what I love the most about it. Listen, guys, if you have enjoyed this video, remember you must like, share, and subscribe, because I wouldn't want you to miss out on more awesome content. So make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, and I will see you on the next video. It's Friday evening. I'm about to go home, and I'll see you next time.